obviously we started slow. I think the theme of the day was opposite of what the season had been. Offensive struggles, the inability to run the ball in the first half. And then obviously the turnovers, not getting the ball, 2 goal-to-go situations, getting no points out of that. I mean, there's so many opportunities that you think about, all right, the game became a one-score game in the fourth quarter. Had we not screwed all that up early, we're up by 3-4 scores. So, you can't turn the ball over like that and expect to win. Was happy to see our defense play a lot better, play with energy, make turnovers, have good emotion and execution. So that was good. And, at least it wasn't us losing another game by a big score. So to me, like the message to the team is it shows that we could be really good. What if we play offense like we had prior to this game, and then played defense like today? We'd be a really good team. So that'll be the goal, to get it all put together.
All right, please use your hand raise button if you have a question. Okay, we'll start with Nick Suss.
Lane, just to start, I guess, what do you say to Matt after a game like that?
Yeah, we've already talked and just said, this game can be really humbling, and you got to be careful reading all your stuff during the week and how great you are and all this, because it'll bring you right back down. And once you start playing really well, people, they study you. And today they read his eyes, and they played all zone. And, he was staring guys down, and that's where the interceptions came.
We'll go to Neil now.
Lane, you may have just basically answered the question I was going to ask, but was there a common thread on most of those interceptions?
Yeah, just most of them, especially the later ones, were staring them down. They're going to happen once in a while. Like the over route earlier where number 1, who's a great player, jumped, made that interception. That's going to happen. But the other ones, are really him staring the guys down. I mean, the second to last one, like I said, 3 guys could have picked it. He just staring guys down and not getting back to the back. And that's what these guys do a great job of. And you saw what they did to Mississippi State. They do a great job. Coached extremely well.
Okay, we'll go to Nate.
For the offense, is this kind of like a bury the tape game, or do you not believe in that? And is it more of there's all these things that we can learn and show Matt to move forward?
No, you better figure it out because, especially in this conference, you got really good coaches, and so they're going to copy it. And so once somebody figures out how to stop you, you better figure out the answers to that. Within the next week, you're going to see the same thing because obviously the output was very different between this and every other game. So people are going to copy this.
We'll go to David Johnson.
Yeah, Lane, down 20-0 at the half. Your defense came out and gave you guys an opportunity to climb back in it. Did you see your defense maybe turn a corner today?
Yeah, but you got to do it all the time. Just like we said, what you've done before, good, bad, or indifferent, as a player, as a unit, as a team, doesn't mean anything. You got to do it every week and reprove yourself. And we saw that today. With the defense doing it and the offense going the other way. So the game could humble you really quick.
We'll go back to Nick.
Lane, can you just talk us through those 2 fourth down stops for them on the goal line? What was the miscommunication there on the fumble, and what do you think happened on the second stop in the third quarter?
Well, I thought the motion guy hit the ball. You guys would have seen it better than me on the first one. But then I think maybe it was just because it was right there and Matt tried to grab it. And, Elijah is normally that guy, and Elijah was hurt, so he wasn't in. So backup was in, and he came a little bit faster on the motion than Elijah does. And it looked like the run would have scored otherwise. And then they stopped us on the other one with penetration.
We saw last week that in those situations, every once in a while, you like to bring in Plumlee. Was there any consideration to using him at all in those packages, or were the plays that you had specifically designed for Matt?
We stayed the same just because of what they were doing. And I've said it before, I don't believe that you pull quarterbacks quick. I think people do that, and affects confidence and rhythm. So I know most people probably would have done that today, but it's the same guy that, last 3 weeks everybody's been saying is one of the best in the country. So, and I've told John that before, it'd be the same way if roles were reversed.
James, go ahead.
So, Coach, where do you go from here? What are you looking for next week?
There's that flushing toilet thing again. See, it isn't me. You can actually see right now. It's not.
It was actually a car, but yeah. So
I didn't hear your question. I just heard your toilet.
it's all good. Coach, what are you guys looking forward for next week? What are you taking away from this game? Obviously, the defense played pretty well. Can you just talk about kind of where do you go from this? What do you take from the offensive side of the ball? What do you take from the defensive side of the ball moving forward?
Putting it together. Now we've seen, both sides play well. And so now the goal will be to put it all together and we can be a really good team. So it was awesome to see the defense today and make plays and turnovers and tackle well at a lot of times, get some sacks. So it's really good to see. Confidence is fragile both ways.
Paris, go ahead.
Hey, Lane, it looked like y'all spread the ball around to different receivers a little more today, but didn't see Kenny Yeboah much. What were they doing to kind of limit him today?
Well, this was our first maybe I jinxed it during the week. I said as we were looking at our breakdowns, completion percentage, that we basically had like almost no drop balls the entire year. It's kind of amazing. And today we had the opposite. We had at least 4 drops that I remember, significant drops. And the quarterback didn't play well. We've been playing lights out. And so that combination, is why we were so different in the passing game. And again, once you start doing things, people coach, and they start taking things away. And so they don't just let Kenny run down the field, and we didn't see any man-to-man today, which is a lot of times where you can get him open on certain things. So a lot more difficult.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go to Dudley.
Coach, just talk a little bit about maybe what you saw from Barry Odom's defense. Obviously, Matt had some struggles with it, but what did you see specifically that kind of slowed y'all down a little bit?
Well, they've done a great job. Like I told Sam before the game, I don't know if there's a better job in the country of what a defense looks like last year compared to this year, how they play, the same players, for the most part. Barry's just done a great job. We saw him, the first half versus Georgia, saw him the whole game versus Mississippi State, and now against us. Does a great job, keeps the ball in front of him, limits explosive plays, which has been what we've relied on a lot. So, good game plan.
All right, we've got to cut it there. Thank you very much, Coach.
All right, see you guys.